Monster Cat fam, I'm Dylan, the community manager here at Monster Cat. 2020, what a crazy year, but I just want to say a really big achievement that I'm proud of this year was our communities grew bigger than ever this year. So I just want to thank everyone for the tremendous support, and I can't wait to see what is in store for next year. Up next, we have my staff pick, which is Margarita by Cloud9 and Direct.
Hello, hello. Oh my gosh. Absolutely.
Hey, what's up everyone? It's Mark, Partnerships Manager here at Monster Cat. And 2020 has been a little bit of a roller coaster, huh? On a personal level though, there's been some good stuff that's happened. Added this little fluff ball here. So, that's good. His name's Axel. Professionally, like Monster Cat, we've been doing a lot of really interesting and unique projects. You've seen some of them already, and you'll see a lot more coming in 2021. In terms of my staff pick this year, it's actually my wife and I. We were really digging Cloud9 and Direct, Mojito, just for the chill vibes and everything. So anyways, I hope you're all staying safe. Bye.
Hello and welcome into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena for tonight's Boise State doubleheader, both against Colorado State. We're kicking things off in week 2 of the CCL. Boise State and Colorado State going at it once again. This time, though, it's not a scrim like we had a couple weeks ago. This one is for real. We'll see if the Broncos can pick up their first victory in CCL after a rough start to the week with 2 losses in week 1. I am Michael Fish Fisher, going to be joined by Riley Nappy Boyd to call all of the action. And Nappy, I've been told you're pretty good friends with some of the guys on the Call of Duty team. So how'd you meet them? And, are you just going to make fun of them now all the time because you're kind of in control of them?
Yeah, a lot of these guys I've got a chance to play with for just over a year now. We started playing together around the first gunfight tournament that Boise State had.
Oh, nice.
So we've been kind of playing since Modern Warfare, and some of these guys I've been friends with since high school, honestly. Perpsky I've known for a long time, and yeah, I am going to give these guys a hard time because it's really easy to give them a hard time, but they're pretty good at what they do. They're better than me, so.
Oh, yeah, no, they would definitely school me, but, that's when you're the caster, you have all the power. They're just stuck, trying to make the play. So give me a little bit from what you know about the team. Are there certain roles? Because that's the one thing for Call of Duty. I've watched a lot of competitive Counter-Strike where, you have the end-game leader, the sniper, so on and so forth. Is there those similar roles in Call of Duty, or is it more just, everybody go try and win a 1v1 gunfight?
Well, I think this year when we switched over from 5-man Call of Duty back to the original 4-man, it's kind of changed the roles up a little bit. There's definitely still roles. You'll see Hat Trick. He's going to kind of hang back and be a little bit more of like an AR, so he's going to be kind of like an anchor, a turret. I like to tell him he's kind of like Octane, who's a pro. And then you'll have your guys that like to fly around and gun people. That's kind of like a Perpsky. He'll be like your SMG, and he'll get really aggressive. And the other 2 guys that are going to will have Practical, and then Yaz Gaming and also Dylan, they're going to they'll rotate. And they just kind of fill in and do what the team needs. So there are roles, but not as much defined anymore. It's a little bit less that way.
Well, going into week 2, we know we're going to start with Hardpoint. We saw it was an 0-2 week 1 for Boise State against UCCS and Oregon Green. Going to take on Colorado State tonight. Is there any map you would like to see first for Boise State for Hardpoint that you think might favor their style?
Well, I know these guys pride themselves on their Garrison. That didn't go so well against Oregon, but they do pride themselves on Garrison Hardpoint, and they have all been playing Call of Duty for a long time, so Raid is something that they're really comfortable with. So I would love to see them, get out there and take care of business on Raid. I'm hoping that's one of the maps tonight.
Is there any map, as we see it's Boise State, Colorado State, it's a doubleheader for these teams, first at Call of Duty, then in League of Legends, any map that the Rams could pick that you might think might give them the advantage against Boise State? Because in the scrim, it was all Boise State in the games we saw. You told us before the show that the maps we didn't see were absolute pop-offs. Is there any map as we go to Raid that Colorado State could pick to maybe throw Boise State off later in this series?
I think anytime you get into a search and destroy, and honestly, again, on Garrison, just with all kind of the cheeky little angles, something can happen there. It just depends on the positioning and how they choose to play it. Things can change. So you can never take anything for granted in Call of Duty.
Well, I believe this is our first time seeing Hardpoint for Raid. We know he had it Search and Destroy against UCCS, which is just a heartbreaking 6-5 loss for Boise State. So what are you watching for here in the first couple minutes, Nappy, for Boise State?
Got to see how they get out and rotate. That's going to be huge. Spawns on this map are really important, so you're going to see people pushing through and just trying to lock down those spawns early and make sure that they're not just taking a full 60 in the hill with all 4 people.
Looks like they traded pretty well. Boise State going 3 for 1. And you mentioned Yaz Gaming going to be in for McDowdy. How often does, they make sure that they rotate a 5th guy in? So are you worried about any communication issues here with a new player in, or you think these guys are pros and they'll handle it well?
No, they're pretty good at it. They do a really good job in their scrims of rotating together, and they all play together, so I think they'll be all right.
Right now, Boise State dropping the second gunfight here. We see a couple guys with the AK-7 for you. Ooh, nice little flank there. And have you heard how the team did since their week 1 game? Because it felt like there were times that Boise State just let a couple of really, really point-blank flanks go off. Do you know if they've had any points of emphasis since their first week in CCL?
Boy, I'll tell you what, they struggled in that first week, and that was a shock because in their scrims that they've been doing, they have been popping off. that
We see here for Boise State defending the hard point. Pretty solidly put up here. Everybody standing on top though for now, but Practical may be looking for a bit of a flank.
you see they're doing such a good job of holding down spawns. They're not, you know, Oregon, you see number 8 and number 5 there, especially number 8. He's going to be trying to get in the back there, it looks like, but you can see Boise State's just locking down spawns and making sure Oregon can't do anything with getting into the back there.
And Boise State's got that trophy system pretty well protected, so you're not going to be able to grenade them out. Retro's going to win one gunfight there. Looks like now they're going to try and push through the courtyard. Hardpoint swapping here relatively soon, so we'll see if Colorado State, looks like they're already moving over to the garage with about 10 seconds left. They're going to cede Boise State the rest of these points.
Yeah, and Boise State's got to make sure that they, this is a problem where this is a hill that you can really make a money hill where you just lock it down and take a full 60. Boise State didn't rotate out to it, and Colorado State did a good job of getting themselves in that hill early. But it looks like Perpsky's doing a pretty good job on the break here.
Yeah, it takes down 2 trophy systems, almost more important than an elimination. Barely gets one onto Steggy behind the car. And all of that work for Colorado State for naught. Now they're going to have to push into this garage, and it's pretty well fortified for Boise State right now.
Yeah, you can just kind of hang out on the head glitches there. Those cars just really make a great place to hang out, and it's really hard to get gunned off of them. And then you can see Hat Trick did a really good job of hanging out there in gym or in weights and just making sure no one can push in from the side.
And those feel like some of the few cars in Call of Duty that really don't explode when you just kind of spam grenades in them. So they're a lot safer than the typical car you might be used to. So once again, Colorado State, they're going to give up the point. They're going to try and rotate once again, which didn't work out for them last time very well.
Yeah, you know, Boise State, I guess they kind of feel like they've just got the gun skill to break hills, which is not a bad way to do it if you have the ability to just kind of gun people out of the hill. They're not really worried about the rotations. They're just kind of breaking hills instead of rotating to them.
Yeah, and I definitely like, you know, being the aggressor. I feel like when you're Colorado State and you just keep retreating, you're not putting yourself in a good position, though they are going to pick up 2 kills here. Boise State trying to push through the pool bar. Coog right on the other side of a member for Boise State. Looks like that's Perpsky. No one from Boise State pushing in quite yet, but right now Colorado State's kind of in a full panic because Boise State's going to 4-man push right through the pool.
Yeah, and you see Colorado State still got those spawns held down there. You can see you can see 6 right down there, just spawned in, but oh, that's a big gunfight win. 2 big gunfight wins for Boise State. What a break that was. Retro
barely keeps the point on the side of Colorado State. The Rams about halfway behind Boise State. Now Boise State's going to pick this one up, and we'll see if Colorado State starts to rotate away. It looks like now they want to find out these last 10 seconds. Nope, there's a full rotate from 6. He's already going to go over back to point number 1.
You know, looking at Colorado State's kill numbers, it looks like Retro. I mean, he's triple neg right now, which isn't good. But I know, you know, talking with the guys, Pone for Colorado State's one that they're really focusing on, and you can see, I mean, he's struggling a little bit, but he's kind of been the guy that's hung out in the hills and tried to lock it down. He's been he's one that Boise State really wanted to focus on going into this series.
Yeah, the solo play from, I believe it was Metro in the series against UCCS was a big reason why the Broncos didn't pick that one up. So I'm sure they want to make sure they watch out for somebody like Pone. You see Steggy's right now got the most kills. You don't want to let that one guy get the flank off. And I think actually Retro made a misplay. He thought that there was the hard point in the middle of the circle, so he rotated to the wrong spot.
That's a tough. I mean, that's tough. You know, that's. But honestly, at this point, this map's been out for so long. That's one that, you know, you got to clean that up if you're Colorado State.
Yeah, Retro number 6 there on the bottom left side of your screen on the map has been hanging out there in the driveway the whole time. Finally does push in, picks up 1 kill. Boise State's going to take down, looks like 2 here from Hat Trick with the Krieg 6, and he's going to be able to wrap up this one up. Now Colorado State rotates to the correct spot.
Yeah, you see Colorado State's got a trophy down in there. This raid hardpoint that they call it, you know, it can be tough to break because there is a lot of those little head glitches, and you got some trophies down. Boise State's going to have to find that trophy that's in the hill if they want to be able to get a full break and keep.
Yeah, it's throwing the grenade right in front of the trophy. How do you feel, Nappy, about trophies having unlimited shots, I guess, or unlimited grenade counters as opposed to in some games it's only 2 or 3?
You know, I think that what needs to happen is they need to make that so they only have a couple of shots when it comes to shooting down other trophies, because that's a big problem where you can't get your own trophy down if there's a trophy already in the hill from the other team. Good shots from Retro there.
Colorado State did a great job. Really feels like at hard point that whoever gets the trophy down first, as you mentioned, it's impossible to get your own trophy down. It's impossible to grenade them out. Really has a great advantage in that trophy system that Boise State could never destroy. Big reason why Colorado State almost full won that one all 60. But Boise State this time on the clean rotation over to the second hard point, and now they're going to be able to hold down Colorado State basically in similar fashion.
Yeah, and Boise State, you can see right there with their kills, they're doing a fantastic job. You got 3 over 20 right now, really balanced. And Yaz knows his part really well on this team, which is to sit in the hill and just soak up a ton of time. And he's doing a really good job of that. He's kind of the guy that's in there when everyone else gets killed. Yaz does a really good job of hanging out and making sure that they've still got presence in the hill and just contesting or getting time. So they're all executing their roles really well, but it looks like Perpsky's really popping off.
Great play by Coop to actually be prone and kind of sneak around Boise State. Perpsky, gets punched right in the face. Practical knows he's there, though, and Boise State's going to pick up what could be almost, it's not going to be enough to win the game, but it should put them in a pretty favorable spot heading over the garage. You see, once again, Colorado State 6 and 7, already moving over to try and fortify that hill. So Boise State's going to also do the same thing because they know this could be their hardpoint victory.
Yeah, and that's a lot better rotation from Boise State. You see, they committed 2 or 3 early, and they have a trophy down there as well. Looks like Colorado State doesn't have one in hill. This should be a little bit easier of a break for Boise State.
Looks like Coog pushed out and gunned down Perpsky there right before the camera went away, which is an interesting play. So now Boise State's going to lose one of their flankers. Coog getting in another gunfight, but actually get taken out by a grenade at the same time. So Coog was holding it down really well, and with him dead, it allowed Boise State to at least get back on the point for a brief moment.
That's a big win there from Yaz, though. It made sure he got the trades that he needed to, and he keeps contesting the hill. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Boise State decide, all right, it's probably time. You can see number 4 there for Boise State, Perpsky. He's already making the play. They get back in anchor spawns to make sure Colorado State doesn't sneak out and get ready for that third hill.
Yeah, Boise State 25 points away from winning. They realized garage probably a lost cause. There's the full rotate over. Colorado State, though, kind of mirroring Boise State that you mentioned, Nappy, going to rotate well before the hard point ends. We'll see if Boise State's in a favorable position. They've got a lot of angles held down. You got to win your gunfights, though.
That's a good win from Steggy. That's a tough gunfight. But there you go. There's Perpsky locking it down at the back.
Ooh, nice grenade to at least even it out. Boise State hasn't jumped onto the hard point yet. Kind of surprising. Colorado State still hasn't made a way over. Now finally Boise State's going to hop on, and now Colorado State's really up against it as the Broncos just 20 points from winning. Colorado
State's split pushing right now, too. You've got 2 coming from the front, 1 coming from the back, now 2, because it looks like they've got parallel spawns. And that's always tough to break when you're trying to win those individual gunfights against the whole team. Good luck.
Yeah, Practical picks up a pair there. Now they're all going to push down from that top side, but it might be too little too late. They're going to contest it right at the end. But a nice double there. Boise State picks up their first victory here at CCL. A pretty dominating victory over Colorado State on hardpoint.
Yeah, those rotations, especially towards the second set of rotations, Boise State really started to show why their comms are on point and what they've been doing in scrims, because that's what it's looked like for them for a while now, just on top of it, rotating and talking.
Yeah, that felt like a much better Boise State team than we saw earlier this week. Well, the Idaho Army National Guard is a proud supporter of Boise State esports, and they invite you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time with more than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. The Idaho Army National Guard is the best team out there. Reach out on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. Boise State picks up the first one here in this best of 5. We're heading to Search and Destroy next, and agonizing loss earlier this week, and this is the one that we don't know how Colorado State's going to fare. I remember I heard the terms of the scrim were, we'll play you in hardpoint, we'll play you in control, but we won't play you in search. Colorado State wanted to protect some kind of strategy, so this is the only one where we don't know if Boise State is ahead of Colorado State like we saw in the scrim.
Yeah, and it's kind of unusual that Boise State actually got the opportunity to scrim some teams in Search and Destroy this year, especially at the pro level. You don't see a lot of teams scrim search just because usually a team has one spot on the map that it's kind of a little cheeky spot that the other team might not know about. So Boise State getting to scrim other teams in search and see where they're at compared to everybody else has been kind of nice. I'll be interested to see how Colorado State looks, though. It's going to be interesting to see how their communication is because it obviously was struggling a little bit there on the hard point.
Yeah, they've got to find a way to finally get a victory over Boise State if you count that scrim. Well, we're going to take a short break. We'll come back. We'll find out what map we're going to and if Boise State can go up to match point in Search and Destroy in CCL. Boise State, Colorado State, Search and Destroy. It's next right after this short break.
legendary parts for legendary wins.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
Welcome back to game number 2 between Boise State and Colorado State here in CCL. We're not going anywhere in terms of map. We're staying on raid. We're transitioning over to search and destroy, and we're seeing if Boise State can go up 2-0 here in this best of 5, looking for their first official win in CCL. Started out 0-2. Nappy's told us they've had some really good scrims. He's friends with a ton of the players on the team, so trying to make those scrims actually be what we see during the game. And then the other thing that we were talking about during the break, Nappy, that definitely makes raid and a lot of Call of Duty more interesting is Sniper's currently banned in CCL rules and competitive rules, which are kind of basically the same CDL, CCL, very limited changes. That's going to make Search a lot more interesting because you can actually kind of peek your head out in places.
Yeah, you know, I mean, obviously they don't play a lot of role in respawns, but in Search, especially on a map like Raid where mid-map is traditionally so sniper heavy, it's going to make for a lot more gunfights mid-map, and I think it's going to make for a little bit more fast-paced search and destroy than we've seen in the last couple of years.
And speaking about search and destroy, maybe it's just because I'm an old school guy while we wait to get into the game. How do you feel, Nappy, about them changing spawns every time? I like the old, you switch after I think 3 or 4 rounds. How do you feel about it, though?
I mean, I think it adds an interesting dynamic because the way it works, if you go to a round 11, right, it's whoever has the most kills gets to be on defense. And I think that adds an incentive to not just go for the bomb, but, you know, actually push out and be aggressive.
We're going to see how the first round starts. Boise State with a dominating hardpoint victory on this map, 250 to about 125. These teams scrimmed in hardpoint and in control. They have not scrimmed in search and destroy. Colorado State wanted to protect some kind of strategy, so we'll see if the Rams come out firing. Coog's going to start the gunfight. Hat Trick going to find nothing but air.
Just barely got away there. Coog did, man. That's a tough gunfight. That's a tough win if you're Coog. That's one that's a tough challenge, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't even think Coog took a shot. He just rotated over. Looks like Pone's going for the bomb plant. I don't know if Perfsky saw him, but he's going to try and grenade him out anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, I definitely think he got a snippet of the head there. That's a good play from him. But it looks like Pone's going to get away. Oh, good trades from Colorado State.
That was pretty gutsy to just know you have Flak Jacket, tank the grenade, and plant the bomb anyway, and that was huge for Colorado State, and that's probably why they won.
Yeah, and then that was a crazy challenge there at the very end from Boise State. Jumping out of money window, trying to chow someone with an M4 there out of mansion. Oof, that's one that you're not going to win very often if you're Boise State.
Now you'll see right here, Practical trying to make the hero play. I really like Pone's play, though. I would have just been like, oh, I ain't getting grenaded. But that was pretty ballsy to be like, oh, you know what, I've got Flak Jacket, and he didn't think, and he was kind of baiting Boise State to push because he had someone in mansion and he knew that.
Yeah, I wonder if he just didn't know that that Perfsky saw him. I wonder if he just didn't see Perfsky when he made that jump down. It's the only thing I can think of.
See if Boise State wants to steal that strategy. Bomb's going mid. No one going to be next to Coog. We'll see if Boise State can use numbers to their advantage. They're going to pick up one onto Steggy. Pone's going to push recklessly, go 1 for 1. So Boise State's sitting here in a 3v2.
Yeah, Pone really just went all out and flew right up the middle of the map. That's a pretty risky play, that's for sure.
Grenade landed next to Retro, but he didn't blink either.
See Hatrick's just kind of sitting here watching. Looks like Boise State's looking to try and get it down A here. Looks like Yaz has got the bomb. And they're in a great spot. They've got it locked down. The only place they can get pushed is from the back. Oh, good win from Perpsky.
It's all up to Coog now, who unfortunately was on the wrong side of the map the whole time. 1v3, is there anything he can really do here?
No, I mean, you have to fly if you're Coog. You have to get moving, and that's a good start. Getting a pick, that's the first step, but he's playing this really slow. Looks like he's going to try and flank back around, but he's got to be faster than this, I think, if he wants a chance at the 1v3.
He's got Boise State looking in the wrong direction. He's going to try and peek up Perpsky, but he's going to slide right into the headshot. And he was a little slow, but of course, he had everyone on Boise State looking the wrong way. He just didn't win the gunfight.
Yeah, you can see this is a good play to start the round out there from Boise State. Hatrick just kind of hanging out there in top mansion. That Krig 6, it's going to win gunfights from range more than anything else. That M4 kind of sits back into a mid-range. That Krig it's a beam from a long ways away, that's for sure.
Both teams have won on offense going towards A site. See if anything changes here, because right now, whoever's been mansion has just been really uncontested both times in a row.
That's a 4 hit towards A again. Boise State's kind of split, but yeah, you got 2 over there on B. That's kind of a tough spot to be if you're Boise State. Now Colorado State's going to have a big advantage.
Colorado State's once again going for the rush plant. Perpsky's going to pick up the kill, but the bomb's going to be planted nonetheless, so Boise State's now on the clock. Retro's got to be careful. That's a gutsy call by Colorado State.
Yeah, that's, you know what, that's a really good strat to get so aggressive like that. You know, if you're Boise State, you don't expect Colorado State to just fly up at the bomb that fast. You know, teams usually play it back, so that's a good way to do it. Oh, wow, what a win, though, from Perpsky. Man, he just gunned him off the heady.
Pone, last one alive, trying to hide in the bushes, gives his position away. Only needs to really live for 19 seconds.
I think Boise State's going to have someone hop the bomb and someone just stand right over him. Yeah, Hatrick's going to hop the bomb. Boise State's just going to stand right over him, so Pone doesn't know where to go. Good win from Yaz. That'll do it for that round.
Colorado State definitely, maybe that was the strategy they were trying to hide. I mean, that is an interesting one in search. You just kind of all out YOLO the bomb and hope that it kind of puts the other team in a bad spot with rotations, but Boise State did a really good job. That turned the fight. Retro had first shot, and he just missed all of them.
Yeah, looks like Perpsky there living up to the optic camo that he has on his gun there. Gunning like a pro. That was big shots, big shots.
I'll be curious if Boise State wants to take a page out of Colorado State's book and try and be as aggressive, but it feels like they could just win the gunfights and be okay. But that A rush does have something, because once again, Coog's going to be in a bad spot if Boise State goes A, but Perpsky off screen going to pick up first blood. They'll trade off, though.
You have a big gunfight there. It looks like 1 and 5 are going to be set up for a pretty big gunfight over here on B. It looks like this is going to be the first real B push. Let's see if 5 can find him.
Oh, nice grenade.
Oh, there it is.
Just traps Coog. Colorado State still not rotating, though. Steggy gets the last man alive.
It's a tough spot to be in. Yeah, that's... When you get called out like that, like he surely did, you're never going to win a 1v3 when they know exactly where you are. Some good shots from Yaz, too.
Yeah, that was a really good job of Boise State kind of playing Colorado State's against them instead of being aggressive and Colorado State really getting on top of the bomb like we saw from Coog. Boise State just waited back and kind of let the Rams come to them, and that was a big reason why they kind of mopped the floor with them in that one.
Yeah, they did a good job of just being patient and communicating. That's so important for this team, is their communication.
Oh, I'm going to be curious how often Colorado State goes A, because at some point you think maybe you push B, catch Boise State off guard. Perpsky sees the guy in mansion, can't get him down. Pone's trying to plant, and he's going to get this one off cleanly. Once again, Boise State's got 2 guys staring at B that are kind of useless.
Looks like there's going to get a win here on 6 if Practical can find him. He knew he's there. Good win there. And he got his Krig, so that's going to make Practical even more viable for this map. He's got 2 guns now.
Interesting with the A rush that Colorado State sent what basically amounted to a decoy over towards B. Boise State now in the 4v1 for Pone. He's got to hold on for 26 seconds. He's not even going to last for 2.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to be laying down when you're right there on the bomb. Boise State just shooting bodies? Whoa, that's they're asking for it. If they're shooting bodies, they think they're getting a little confident. That's what we like to see.
I'm just confused why Colorado State sent somebody over to B.
I mean, I think the thought probably is at some point you think they're going to go there. Boise State's thinking they're going to go there, so they have to make Boise State continue to think that. So sending that decoy over there and just slowing down the push while they're getting a fast plan over there at A, that's the only reason I can think of.
I have to wonder, too, since we saw him double tap the bomb, I don't know if they're shooting bodies. They might have forgot that they had won the round and thought that a corpse was somebody. Because you don't put the bomb down to BM unless you wait till like the very last second.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'll try to, give them a little bit of credit.
You might be right. You might be right.
The B rush here for Boise State.
Oh, good win from Pone. Good first blood.
He rushed there, got there really early. Practical didn't even know he was there.
It's not a spot you check usually right off the start of the round. People don't usually fly down to mid-map there. That was it's a good play from Pone.
He can get a huge flank off here if he's sneaky enough. Hatrick's going to see him, unfortunately. Steggy's now going to be the last one alive as Boise State's going to win a gunfight. They're going to plan at B here, and Steggy once again put in that really awkward spot.
Oh, good win, though. That's a tough gunfight. There's not a lot of visibility there. If you're on that raid statue to those mid-stairs, not a lot of visibility. That's a good win from Steggy, getting himself a chance.
Trying to rotate over. You see Perpsky's already got the angle on him, so he's got to go for the full-on flank. Perpsky caught, looking the wrong direction, barely ducked in time.
Yeah, now Perpsky knows where he's at. He knows where he's pushing from, and you can see Yaz is just going to hang out on the bomb there. And this is a tough spot for Steggy to be in. He's going to have to try and win 2 gunfights back-to-back, and it's not even going to get the first. Good shots from Yaz.
Perpsky barely ducked behind that wall at time, otherwise he was dead to rights.
Yeah, the movement from Perpsky was pretty nice there. That's something I know that these guys spend a lot of time watching the pros and how they move. And Shotzi and Illy for like Dallas Empire are really big on the movement. And I know Boise State spends a lot of time watching how they slide cancel, and they try and work that into their game. And I think we'll see that quite a bit from this team.
Probably a big reason why Perpsky was alive. But last chance here for Colorado State. We'll see if they A-rush again. Practical taking a page out of Pone's book. He's going to even get more aggressive. Oh, I thought he was going to look away.
Oh, good
man.
Snap.
Just like that, Pone's the last one alive.
And Perpsky with the Diamatti. That's awesome.
That was quite the convincing win for Boise State. I was shocked Colorado State never once tried to rotate over to B. Felt like Boise State, that round in particular, was ready for the A-rush.
I think if you're Colorado State, you're thinking over on B, it's a little bit more, there's some more opportunities for open gunfights. Whereas over on A side, it's a lot more head glitches and just kind of posting up, and they probably figure it's their best chance to win a round.
Well, Boise State now on match point. Don't forget, Boise State Esports is always looking for talented players, production and broadcast talent. Top talent along with good grades and eligibility can earn you scholarships as well. If you want more information, check them out, boisestate.edu/esports for more information. So we're going to Control. Boise State 1 round away from picking up their first official victory. Do you think we're going to see Garrison? That seems to be the map of choice for Control every time Boise State has played.
Yeah, they definitely pick that map when they go through and they get to do like their map bans and their map picks. I know Garrison's one that they really love. Hat-Trick does a really good job of just kind of hanging out in the back and he sits on those 2 tanks and he just guns people from mid, and it's tough to beat that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Garrison here as Boise State's map pick for Control.
Well, we'll have to see what Control is going to be picked. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back to see if Boise State can pick up their first official CCL victory or if Colorado State can force us to a game 4. Control is next. We'll find out the map after this short break.
Legendary parts for legendary wins.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. and always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin
That's fair.
your Guard adventure.
Welcome back into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Love is in the air, and we'll see if Boise State's hearts can explode with their first CCL official victory. We are on game number 3. It's match points for Boise State. Fish and Nappy here ready to go. Once again, we're still in the Game Pants Arena, and once again, Nappy, we're still on raid. That's where we're going. It's control raid. I wouldn't shock me if we won all 5 games somehow. This looks like Boise State's map to win if we just got raid 5 times in a row. These teams, I don't know what it is, they love raid, and that's why we're staying here for control.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't complain about that. I remember raid when it came out in Black Ops 3. It's a fantastic map. It's fun, so I wouldn't complain.
See here, Boise State in the middle of their Week 2 schedule. An 0-2 start, unfortunately. Very, very close against UCCS. Oregon, not so much. They still got Grand Canyon here, but it's Colorado State because it's a doubleheader for Boise State and the Rams. They're playing in League of Legends as soon as this series wraps up at 7 o'clock. So we'll see if the Call of Duty team for Boise State can start things off on the right foot. Right now, they are very, very close. It's control, and it feels like, Nappy, for the most part, unless something dramatically changes, the gun skills are going to favor Boise State a lot, and since this is a very, very heavy gunfight mode, Boise State should come out victorious in a 3-0.
Yeah, you would think. I mean, you and I were talking about it in the break, and control, because the points don't move, it really is just all who has the superior gun skill, and like you said, Boise State right now seems to just be going off. So I wouldn't be surprised if Boise State can take care of business, but at the same time, I mean, Colorado State's got guys, like I said, Boise State's been focusing in on guys like Pone. Steggy's had some moments this map. You never know. They could pop off and they could get a couple of rounds.
I think I remember in their scrim there was a couple of close control rounds that were a little nail-biting, but Boise State came out on top. It's Boise State, it's Colorado State, Call of Duty Cold War CCL Week 2. The Broncos with a 2-0 lead in this best-of-5 series. We're going back to raid where Boise State picked up wins in Hardpoint and Search and Destroy. It's control time now. We'll see if the Broncos can get the clean 3-0 and maybe give some momentum to the League of Legends team who will be playing Colorado State here coming up at 7 o'clock. I mean, you can't have any cheeky A rushes in control. It's not as simple as search and destroy. So something's got to change in a heartbeat for Colorado State. Is there anything you can maybe tell the Rams that they could do to change things up and give Boise State a run for their money?
Right now, if you're the Rams, you can't panic, because in control, if you panic and you start sending people to both sides and both points, you're in trouble. You have to make sure you push one and stay on one unless you all decide to change. But if two people decide to split and you have a split push, you're in trouble.
For the most part, everybody's going A. It does look like Retro has gone down to that B site. Practical's going to rotate down as well. Boise State's going to pick up the first 3 kills, almost 4 of the round.
Look, Boise State did such a good job. They got a couple people there in A, and it looks like they've already got 2 ticks on it. Yeah, they've got 2 ticks. They're looking for that third. This is a fast A capture for Boise State. This is the right way to do it.
Perpsky going to try and get the flank here on Koo. Going to walk right into him. Almost throws that gunfight away. 10 HP. And he's going to gun down Pone across the map. Great job by Perpsky there. And Boise State full control of A. And now everything on Colorado State to at least hold B and try and even out these respawns.
Perpsky is absolutely frying right now. He is not afraid to just go. And you can see in control, you get the spawns in the same place every time. You can really just push up, be aggressive, play your lives. Boise State is just absolutely just taking advantage of that, and just it's almost like a spawn trap, kind of like Domination was last year.
Couple of nice picks there from Colorado State. Perpsky reads that one perfectly. Coog's still down there. Right now, if you're Colorado State, you got to find a way to kill Perpsky. He's 7-0, and he's starting to push down to that B site.
Yeah, this is very impressive. That M4 that you can kind of run as an SMG or as an AR, depending on what you want to do with it. Perpsky is taking care of business. Oh, that was good win there for Colorado State, though.
Yeah, great job by Coog. Retro gets one as well. Boise State actually now behind in lives as the Rams have kind of bunkered down here by the basketball court and the pool. Practical going to try and do it. He picks up one. Rock's going to block him out. Trophy system stops the rest. At least gets the trophy system.
It's an audacious challenge with a SMG there to someone that has an AR on that little head glitch down there. That's a crazy challenge, but it's good work from him to stay alive.
Interesting position for Pone. He's all the way over in Mansion. Going to try and maybe gun down Boise State on a crossfire. He does have Practical sneaking up on him, and Practical's going to win that gunfight, so that's going to free up the whole poolside area for Boise State.
Yeah, it looks like Colorado State, they're just working to get out of their spawn right now. That's kind of the tough thing for them. Boise State's done this a couple times where they pushed up, they get the first couple kills. Colorado State has a hard time getting out of the spawn. That makes it hard to do anything in control. Good wins. Oh, that was good first from Practical, but tough second gunfight.
Only bad news for Boise State is the lives are actually a lot closer than that early pop-off indicated. The Rams actually ahead 10-8. Trophy system. Boise State's seen that trophy system a couple of times and still refused to shoot it. Now they're going to try and sneak around in the pool.
Yeah, and, it doesn't seem, just watching it doesn't seem like Boise State's down in lives. But, yeah, Colorado State's done a really good job of just kind of hanging around. Boise State's got to get those takes because you only got 11 seconds on the clock here. Good win from Yaz, though.
Only 11 seconds. Boise State, they are tied in lives. Now the Broncos just down behind. Colorado State looking like they might pick up their first victory. Now they're out of respawns. Boise State turned that one on in a hurry.
And it looks like they might get this third tick here. Jazz can win that gunfight. Good win. Yeah, that was the way to play it for Boise State. Got a little edgy there, but they did a good job of just focusing back on, getting the point, finding those ticks in control and doing what you need to do to win the map.
I did not think after Perpsky started off as hot as he did, as we're going to see his best play here, that it would come down to, I think, like 2 or 3 respawns between these teams. Colorado State actually did a great job at defending B and holding down around their own spawn. Actually, I was not expecting that to be as close as it ended up being.
Yeah, looks like Persky he died 5 times there at the end, which is surprising. He just kind of got some confidence going, and that could be tough. And it looks like Pone's starting to pop off a little bit for Colorado State there. He's up to almost double positive.
That was the guy you mentioned, Nappy, is maybe the anchor for Colorado State. Hat-trick's going to pick up one. Tried to gun down Kook through the van. Couldn't quite see him. Huge flank from Practical. Boise State's going to get the full, basically, team kill there.
2 big wins there for Boise State. And that would have been a really nice little win from Hat-trick. That van spot. White van has some cheeky angles that you can play on it, that's for sure.
Hat-trick somehow still alive.
Oh my word.
If you're Colorado State, you're going next round. That was just too much for them. I don't know how Hat-trick's still alive. He
was just dancing around there in art. That was crazy. That shot bash was nasty from Hat-trick.
Practical's on a 6 kill streak. Hat-trick trying to match him at 5. Boise State this time honestly opted for a gunfight. They're not really opting to capture points. They just want to win the gunfight battle.
Hat-trick he's got that shot bash working. It's reminiscent of Call of Duties of old, kind of the older Black Ops series. He's really got that working with the SMGs. Good transition from the main AR to kind of a slaying SMG from him.
Oh, nice job by Perpsy with the huge flank. Colorado State's kind of just panicking. Boise State's in their spawn. They don't even know to go where safe. There's another one for Perpsky. Feels like Boise State maybe was a little bit jaded in how close that last round was, so they're going to make sure they win on respawns by quite a bit here.
Yeah, they are taking over, and that play from Hat-trick is going to be the play of the game, and if it's not, I'll be shocked, because that defined, not even just this game, but that really defined the series, I think.
Someone just calling a kill streak?
Wait, they did.
Yeah, that's not allowed.
No.
It didn't kill anyone. But I was like, wait, why did he just hide and why did I just hear mortars landing?
Wow, okay. I didn't even notice that, Fish. Who was that? Was that Colorado State?
All I saw was Kook get in a building and then I just saw the mortars come slamming down. I was like, that's not a grenade and there's no javelin in Cold War.
That is really funny. I guess they figured, because I think it's just a gentleman's agreement that there's no streaks. I don't know that it's actually banned. I think it's just gentleman's agreement. So maybe he just kind of said, well, it's already going bad. What are they going to do to us?
I mean, looking at the scores, though, I would think that had to be Boise State that called it in, just because I don't know if anyone in Colorado State's got the points to call one in. Didn't get a kill, so we'll just, we'll ignore it. Boise State didn't even need the kill streak. They're going to pick up 2 more, but that was really interesting way to end that last round.
Yeah, that was just bizarre. That's not something that you would expect. That kind of took me as a surprise. I didn't even notice. It's a good catch.
Oh, Steggy. Surprised he didn't jump off for the flank. He's still going to pick up hat trick regardless, though.
Yeah, it's tough timing. That's tough timing if you're hat trick. You got to feel a little bit sad about that. You made a good play, made a good flank, and you just barely get caught out. But Boise State's already got progress on B. Looks like 1 tick, maybe 2 ticks now.
Well, that's a good gunfight win there for Perpsky. Not the easiest of angles. Going to see Retro come charging in. He's going to pick up a double of his own. Oh, Kook just went around the statue as Yaz got around, and Yaz is going to... Oh, I thought he was going to survive, so works out in the end.
Yeah, good trades from Boise State there, though. In A, you can see they've already got B, or in B, take out B. They've already got A, or B already capped now. They've got 2 takes in A.
All right, somebody from Boise State did just pick up a double kill with a cruise missile.
What in the world?
Maybe they've just said, you know what, we're just that good, but that is... Like you said, it's a banned sort of gentleman's agreement not to use them. Boise State throwing everything at Colorado State. Hey, if you got it, I guess you use it. Boise State's still in the lead, but that is really interesting. Not something you see every day. The Broncos should win here on this last tick.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think if you're Colorado State, you can't say anything about it. I mean, it was hot 3-0 both in the map and in the series. I mean, Boise State took care of business there. That was pretty impressive bounce back after the first tough little bit. On that first round, it got a little close. Boise State just said, nah, we're not going to mess around here.
Yeah, that first round was kind of strange. I mean, it came down to the wire, but yeah, as you guys said, I don't think the kill streaks at the end really mattered. Boise State picking up their first CCL victory here, a 3-0 win over Colorado State. They still have Grand Canyon. They can get back to 2-2, but I will say, Nappy, this felt like a better Boise State team than we saw last week. A lot better communication and just a lot more dominating and a lot more gunfight wins as well.
Yeah, I think that they had a little bit of confidence. With this being their first time in CCL, I think they were a little not confident last week.
Well, don't forget that the beatdown is coming your way. It's Boise State's first fighting game tournament. Tekken 7, Dragon Ball FighterZ, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate all on their way the 14th, 21st, and 28th. If you want to get in on any of the action with the in-person finals held here in the Game Pants Esports Arena, go check them out. Smash GG, the beatdown Boise State to get registered. So, going to be a ton of fun for that fighting game tournament, but right now, Boise State Call of Duty got to be celebrated because they finally got their first victory, which I know is always kind of hard for, teams in their first competitive environment, and they looked really good doing it, maybe put the rest of the league on notice. Hey, those first couple of games, we were just a little bit nervous. We're ready to go now.
Yeah, I think they're locked in. I think we're going to see a lot different Boise State team than we saw in those first 2 series. They're going to be confident in their scrims going forward. I think their comms are more on point. I think this Boise State team is primed to be pretty good this year.
Do you think teams are going to start avoiding raid now after this performance? Because, I mean, Colorado State, I don't know who picked which one for raid. It was raid all 3 times in a row. Boise State, for the most part, I'd say, just dominated and kind of knew exactly where to go every single time.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see raid start being banned a little bit more. But if I'm Boise State, I'm picking it in any map that I can. If it's a respawn or if it's search, I'm getting on raid, and I'm probably getting on Garrison. I'm guessing that's going to be the map that they pick when things get banned because, yeah, those are 2 maps that they are really good at, but raid's going to be a lot less frequent, I think, in their series.
Garrison is just wild to ban. I mean, there's been some maps that have been banned for competitive ballots. Garrison, I don't know how that one's still around. The Warsaw spawn, it's just, you don't stand a chance, especially on control.
No, but it's better than some of the other maps. It's better than, like, Satellite.
That is true. Yeah, Satellite is a disaster. I don't want to talk about that map. I got my clock cleaned on that last night. Well, thanks, everyone, for joining us. Nappy, thanks for you to join us as well. Maybe you're the good luck charm. Maybe Boise State's going to say Nappy's got to be here because we're undefeated when he calls the action. But don't go anywhere. We've still got League of Legends around the corner. In about 45 minutes, Boise State and Colorado State, perhaps the 2 top teams in the Mountain West League of Legends, going at it in C-Law. So go get your food, but be back at 7 o'clock. We've got a huge showdown, but until then, we'll see you at 7 o'clock.